If anyone can give us an amazing red lipstick, it's MAC. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Carmel, and in today's video we have a MAC red lipstick try on. I have picked a bunch of MAC lipsticks with different undertones, different finishes from different formulas, and I really hope that within this collection you will find one that you truly love. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, then please do keep on watching. So I put a poll out on my community page asking whether you wear red lipstick or not, and I was actually surprised at how many people said that they never wear red lipstick, or that they are interested in wearing lipstick, or that they've been a little bit scared to dive in. So that's what inspired this video. I have other videos on my channel dedicated to red lipstick, so red lipsticks from the drugstore, red lipsticks from high-end luxury. But today I wanted to focus just on MAC. Number one, because they are my favourite red lipstick brand, and number two, because they were one of the first ever red lipsticks that I purchased, and I feel like MAC are the perfect choice for your first red lipstick. They are amazing quality. They are, I would say, priced mid-range, so not super expensive. And number three, they cater to so many different undertones, skin tones, and I really do think that within this bunch you might find one that you love. I think a lot of people think that red lipstick doesn't suit them because not all red lipsticks are created the same, and not all red lipsticks are going to suit you. Not all red lipsticks are going to suit me, and it is really a process of trial and error. There is theory when it comes to red lipstick that if you have a cooler undertone, so if you have predominantly blue or purple veins, if you have a lot of pink in your skin, you do not tan very well. If you suit silver jewelry more than you suit gold jewelry, there's a chance that you have more of a cooler undertone. So if you do, going for a cooler toned red, so one that has more of a bluer base to it, would probably suit you best. And then if you have a warmer skin tone, so if you have more yellow in your skin, if you tan really well, you suit gold jewelry. If your veins are predominantly green, then you will probably suit warmer toned lipsticks. Now, if you are neutral, you are very lucky because you are probably going to suit both. However, there are absolutely exceptions to these rules because I'm an olive. Now, I'm an olive who is predominantly neutral, but I definitely have some muted warm undertones in there. Some red lipsticks just look disastrous on me. So today I'm going to show you different tones of red lipsticks. I'm going to show you ones that are warm, ones that are cool, ones that are really wearable, and I've kind of grouped them into categories. It's really important that you do take into consideration everything when you are looking at a red lipstick. So you need to look at your undertone, but you also need to look at your skin tone and your hair color and everything else that goes with it. Now, I would say that once you find your perfect red lip, is try and get a lip liner to go with it. So maybe a neutral red lip liner or something that's more nude. A lip liner with red lipstick I feel is pretty much a must. However, for today I'm not going to use a lip liner because I want you to see these colours as they are. So the first shade that I'm going to show you is from the MAC Lustreglass collection. So this is a hydrating high shine lipstick, and this is the shade Ladybug. So Ladybug is described as a tomato red. It is a real classic but wearable red, so it's not too deep and it's not too bright. And this is a shade that was actually reformulated. I like that it's quite sheer, but you can build this up. So I do feel like there is a touch of warmth in there, a slight little bit, but it's more classic, more neutral than any of the other ones that I'm going to show you. But the thing is with this red is you can just have a real sheer application of this, whereas I've gone in and I have built this up. I built up the opacity, but along with the fact that you can sheer this out and it doesn't have to look as intense as this, is the comfort level of these Lustreglass lipsticks. They are so hydrating, they are so comfortable. You can rub your lips together with no problem at all. Your lips are not going to end up feeling dry like they can do with some more matte lipsticks. I guess the one negative of this is that it can smear a little bit, so it's not going to be as transfer proof as a matte lipstick. So that's just something to bear in mind, and that's why I think with a lip liner it would be a little bit more safe. So again, that is Ladybug. So the next red we are going to be diving into is called Ring the Alarm, and this is from the Macximal Matte collection. So Ring the Alarm is described as a milky pink red, and this I think is one of the absolute most wearable shades in this collection. So if you like more of a nude lip in general, I really think that you would like this because it has that little bit of a crossover into a pinky red lipstick, but it's not too vibrant. This is the statement. This is all the statement you need without it being scary. This is actually really new to my collection, and can you see how this one just suits me a little bit more? So because it's that little bit deeper, it just suits my overall skin tone just that little bit more. Now the great thing about this lipstick is it's in the matte formula. Now it's not a drying matte formula, but this is going to be very, very long lasting. It's going to stick around. Now it's not completely transfer proof. I'll just give you an example. There you go. They are not transfer proof. I don't know if they claim to be now, but they're definitely not. But it's not going to smear across your face, and you can wear it all night and you don't have to worry about it. You don't need to be topping it up all the time like you would do with, for example, Ladybug. So yes, if Ring the Alarm has not been on your radar, maybe you need to go and check it out. It's a stunner. So we're going to move on now to some deeper and kind of moodier shades of red. And we are going to start off with Avant Garnet. Avant Garnet is another one from the matte collection. It's described as a rich, dirty red. It's a little bit on the deeper side, and if you have a look closely, you will see some bluish undertones in there, so it is slightly cool. And I feel like this is a statement red, but a statement red without being too loud. I think one of the main reasons I hear people telling me that they don't wear red lipstick is because they just feel like they stand out from the crowd, and they don't like that. They feel like everybody's looking at them. But this would definitely be an example of you wearing a red rather than a red wearing you, because that is always the worry. But this, it's just so beautiful and sophisticated. I just really adore it. And I like with bluer toned lipsticks, you will find that they will make your teeth look that little bit whiter than some of the warmer lipsticks do, and I will be showing you an example of this. So Avant Garnet, rich, beautiful and sophisticated. It really is beautiful. Next, we are moving on to a much deeper red, and this is Dubonnet. Dubonnet is described as a mid-tone wine, and this, what a shade this is. So this for me is a berry toned red, and this one is actually from the Sleek Satin collection. So if you don't really like matte lipsticks and you find them a little bit drying, or if you don't like the glossiness of the Lustreglass collection, this just sits in between. It feels unbelievably beautiful. If there's one reformulation that I do approve of with the MAC reformulations, it's definitely the Sleek Satin. Dubonnet is absolutely giving elegant, it's giving mysterious, it's giving sultry, and look at the opacity of the finish of this lipstick. It's so gorgeous. If you're just looking for something that's not bright and vibrant, but you still want to make a bit of a statement, but you don't want to be as vibrant and out there and loud, it's Dubonnet. It's amazing. We're moving on to some warm reds now, and the first one is Chili, and I have Chili, and I wanted to show you this intentionally. I have it in a mini. MAC do have some minis, but not in every shade, unfortunately, but they definitely have a little Chili. Look at that. Isn't it just adorable? So Chili is described as a warm brick red. And again, this is part of the matte lipstick collection. Now, although it's matte, it's definitely not drying. And what I really like about Chili is that although it is warm leaning, which warm leaning lipsticks, warm leaning red lipsticks don't necessarily suit me, but I think this is a very, very soft leaning warm red. So it's a warm lipstick, but just toned down a little bit, and that just makes it much more wearable for me. Now, when we talk about warm lipsticks, one of the other reasons that I tend to avoid them is because warm lipsticks can actually make your teeth look more yellow than what they are. So basically, your teeth have yellow tones in them, believe it or not. I know we all think that they are pristine white, and I guess it depends on whether you've got real teeth or not. I do have real teeth, and so my teeth have yellow tones in them. So basically, if you use a warm toned lipstick, whether it be red or not, then it is going to pull out those warm tones in your teeth. And you can see that my teeth are not looking as white as I would like. And I really like this because I feel like it brightens up my complexion a little bit. So, you know, Dubonnet, gorgeous. I really like it. And some of the cooler toned ones I love. But they don't perk my face up, where I feel like this does just warm everything up, and it just makes everything just that little bit brighter. So yeah, Chili, such an iconic shade. Warm, but not too warm. It's just so incredibly wearable. So if you haven't considered Chili, maybe you should. Next up, we have a very warm and a very, very vibrant lipstick. And I wanted to include this because it is such an iconic MAC lipstick. And if I didn't include it, I know that a lot of people would be upset with me. I have a lovely viewer, Haley, who actually said, Lady Danger runs through my veins, and that's how iconic this one is. But I'm just going to warn you, this does not suit me, okay? And this is a good example of not all reds suit everybody. I do think there's a red lipstick out there for every single person, but not every red lipstick is going to suit you. And this is a great example of that. So just take how this looks with a little pinch of salt, because it definitely isn't my type of red, but doesn't take away from the fact that it is such an iconic and holy grail for so many. So Lady Danger, again, is part of the matte collection. So Lady Danger is described as a vivid, bright coral red. This is absolutely a statement lipstick, a striking statement warm red lipstick, and it's definitely not for the faint-hearted. Now, obviously, it does not suit my skin tone. However, on the right person with the right undertone and right skin tone, this is going to be incredible. Lady Danger is neon, it's punchy, it is intense. Unfortunately, it just clashes with my olive undertones, and I do not have enough warmth in my skin to pull this off, and that's why it is so contrasting to my skin tone, to my undertone, to my whole vibe. It just... I can't wear it. I really cannot. And I know there will be people who just love this lipstick and they are looking at it on me and thinking, what is that? Are you sure that's Lady Danger? It's Lady Danger, 100%. Unfortunately, it's just not my shade, but I did want to include it because it will be the right shade for somebody. And I did want to give you that example. You might have tried a similar type of red, a red that totally clashes with your undertone, skin tone, with your features, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try again. That's why I'm trying to give you lots of different types and lots of different shades of lipstick, because there is one out there for you. Unfortunately, Lady Danger, just not the one for me. And look at my teeth. Not white. They're not white at all. So yes, not the one for me, but it most definitely could be the one for you. So we are going to finish off with two icons now. They are what MAC would say would be the most universally flattering red lipsticks, and they are both from the matte collection. And the first one is the true icon, that is Ruby Woo. Ruby Woo is described as a vivid blue red and is without a doubt MAC's most iconic red lipstick. So Ruby Woo was reformulated, so it is not the exact same as it used to be. It used to be a retro matte, so a super matte, but now it's part of the Macximal matte collection and it's very, very comfortable. So Ruby Woo it's extremely vivid. It's a true blue-based lipstick, so would be absolutely perfect on cooler undertones. However, having said that, when MAC created this lipstick, their intention was to create a universally flattering red lipstick, and that's what they came up with this. And honestly, I do think that it has ticked that box. I think most people would say that this is their favorite MAC red lipstick. I wouldn't. I like it, but it's a little bit too much on the vivid side for me. I know, don't hate me. I know I'm going to get so much hate for saying that. I still really like it, but there's another shade, which is the final shade, which is way more suited to me and my skin tone and my undertones. Ruby Woo definitely has just that touch more drama than some of the other reds. It is iconic for a reason. It really is a beautiful red lipstick. And if you want something that's a little bit more bold, a little bit more punchy, but you don't want it to be warm and you don't want it to take over your face, then Ruby Woo really is an amazing option. It's an icon. So last but not least is my number one red lipstick, and this lipstick is a true holy grail to me. I would choose this red lipstick over every other red lipstick, and it is Russian Red. So Russian Red is described as an intense bluish red. Now, if you compare it to Ruby Woo that we've just seen, although it is cool, it's not as cool as Ruby Woo. And it's a little bit deeper and it's a little bit richer, almost like a vintage type red. So although it is blue based, I do feel like on the majority of skin tones, this would look absolutely incredible, because I don't think it's an intense blue like Ruby Woo is. For me, is just the definition of a classic, elegant, beautiful red that is not going to wear you, that is going to give you such a boost of confidence. It is so incredibly beautiful. I remember the first time I ever saw Russian Red. So I was actually shopping in Selfridges in the UK when I used to live there, and I remember going up to the counter and I was paying for, obviously, a MAC lipstick. And the girl behind the counter, she had obviously Russian Red on, and I was like, oh my goodness, what are you wearing on your lips? And she told me, and that was probably about 13 years ago when I very first started to wear red lipsticks. Never looked back. Russian Red has been my number one since that day. And for somebody who might be scared of red lipsticks, who thinks that red lips don't suit them, this little guy, honestly, Russian Red will always be the red that I will recommend to people, whether you are getting into red lipsticks or if you're wanting to just make that push to a truer red lipstick, then this is it. And also, it makes your teeth look a lot whiter than, for example, Lady Danger would. And that brings us to the end of our red lipstick show and tell. So I'm just going to show you some side-by-side daylight swatches of these red lipsticks so you can get an idea of how they truly look. Again, you really cannot go wrong with a MAC lipstick. You are getting quality. They do not break the bank like they would if you were going for an Armani or a Chanel. They are incredible lipsticks that have stood the test of time and continue to stand the test of time despite reformulations. So please do let me know which one is your favorite on yourself out of this collection. And if you've never tried a MAC red lipstick before, which one do you think would interest you? So do let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments. I can't wait to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, take care and bye for now.